program that highlights the amazing work carried out by local nonprofits, the wonderful people who lead these organizations, and the committed volunteers who give of themselves but wind up receiving even more. I'm Bernadette Wagner, co-director of Volunteer Washington County, and today I'm pleased to welcome Shakira Doleman as today's guest on Reach Out. Shakira will be speaking with us about her experience as an AmeriCorps volunteer, which is sometimes referred to as the National Peace Corps, as well as her experience as an AmeriCorps volunteer at the Washington County Community Mediation Center. She's a remarkable young lady who puts her ideals into action, and our community is better because of her service. Thanks, Shakira, for joining us on Reach Out.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Tell us just a little bit about what the AmeriCorps mission is. Maybe it's a little bit of the history behind AmeriCorps.
Well, the basic mission of AmeriCorps is just to reach out and help the community. They have various programs in schools. We have our Mediation Corps. We have the IEP Facilitation Program, Prisoner Reentry Program. We also do community mediation. Other AmeriCorps members, they receive an education award at the end of their service, which could go towards an undergraduate degree, a graduate degree, or also to pay back your student loans. The motto of AmeriCorps is getting things done, so they just, in any way possible, like to give back to the community.
That's terrific. So people bring in their particular skill sets and put those to action.
Yep, and they also acquire new skills and experiences. Through my experience as an AmeriCorps member, so many different opportunities have opened up for me, so it's just great.
How long have you been an AmeriCorps member?
For this term, it started in October. I served another term back in high school in 2007, and that was for a few months for an educational award towards college.
So when you were an AmeriCorps volunteer in high school, were you able to use those funds to pay for your college education?
Yes, it went towards a great amount of my tuition.
That's terrific. And where did you go to school?
At Lincoln University in Pennsylvania.
Okay, that's terrific. And are you from this area, or is this, do AmeriCorps service members serve always in their own community, or can they go anywhere they'd like?
They can go anywhere they like. You actually get to travel quite a bit. So far I've been traveling all over Maryland. The Community Mediation Maryland's main office is in Tacoma Park. We do a great amount of our trainings there in Tacoma Park. I am from the Hagerstown area. I went to North High, graduated in 2008. And there is another AmeriCorps member that serves with our center. She's not from this area. She's actually traveled quite a bit as well. Her name is Izzy Sevco, and we've been working great together.
There's a shout out for Izzy.
Yes.
Okay, great. So what is it that the Mediation Center does? What is their mission and their work that they do?
We strive for positive and productive conflict resolution. The goal is to view conflict as an opportunity for healing and growth. We deal with any type of conflict. We've been getting a lot of cases from State's Attorney's Office, Department of Juvenile Services. Again, I'm a part of the reentry program, so we're doing reentry mediation at the prisons on Roxbury Road, all three of them. We do neighbor disputes, business disputes, employer-employee, friendships, all types of conflicts we come across during mediation.
And I was looking at your website yesterday, and I saw a whole list of partners: WCPS schools, the hospital. It's a tremendous long list. Now,
Yes.
all of these organizations they've taken the training, or you go there to do mediations?
A lot of the partners that we have, we receive referrals from them. People that they come across, like social services, certain people, they hear their situations that they're going through, and they would request mediation services for them, so then they would come to us. We're grateful for a lot of the partners that we have. We get a bunch of cases from State's Attorney's Office, Department of Juvenile Services that I mentioned earlier, so we're very grateful for them. We get a lot of our cases from our community referrals.
And how is the Community Mediation Center funded?
Through grants. We do accept donations and fundraising ideas, but we're mostly operated on grants.
Okay, and do you have any particular volunteer needs at the center at this time?
Currently, we are looking for volunteers, volunteer mediators, and also conflicts. Anyone that you know is going through something, any type of conflict, they could definitely call and come do mediation.
Okay, so let's just say I'm having an argument with my neighbor about, I don't know, parking in front of my house. Would that be a kind of thing where I ask her not to do that and she says okay, but she still does that? So how does that work? How would a mediation
example?
Okay, tell us how that would play out.
So I guess you would be the one who would call our center and just explain a little bit about the situation. One of our staff members would ask you some screening questions just to make sure it is appropriate for mediation and just go through the process that we run. Then we would get your information, the other person's information, and do what we call our intake process. And then once, if they do agree to come to mediation, because it is voluntary, we would schedule a mediation session. Once you come to that session, we would explain our process, have you do all our paperwork that we require, and then we would ask you what you would like to discuss in mediation. The ultimate goal is to have you come up with your own solutions. It is a lot of times used as an alternative from court, so that they like the idea of their own solutions of stuff that works for them.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
and we
good.
have about 80% of the cases that come to mediation actually come to an agreement.
Can you give me an idea of how many mediations you do a month or a year?
I would say right now we're at for this month we're at about almost 25 mediations. I'm not exactly sure exactly how many per year, but we get kind of busy after the holidays. It's kind of been picking up a little bit, so we're getting a little bit more busy.
That's really interesting. And I just want to make sure that we have time to find out a little bit about the training that the Mediation Center is offering in April. Is that correct?
Yes, we have our basic mediation training, which is coming up in April. It's April, 3 weekends in April. We do require that you come to all of it, all 3 weekends. It's April 13th and 14th, the 20th and 21st, and the 27th and 28th. From 9 to 5:30. It'll be at the Reach Center. Anyone who is interested in becoming a mediator, we definitely encourage them to come to this training. All of our mediators go through at least 50 plus hours of training that happens before they actually begin mediating, throughout their apprenticeship and throughout their whole career as a mediator, just to have that continuing education.
And they're supported through that process?
Yes, definitely.
Well, great. I'd like to thank Shakira for joining us on today's show, and thank you, our viewing audience, for watching. If you want to learn more about AmeriCorps, you can visit AmeriCorps.gov, and you could also go to the Mediation Center's website. And if you're interested in getting more information about Volunteer Washington County and how you can volunteer in our community, please check out VWC's website. I'm Bernadette Wagner, and I hope you were inspired today and that you feel empowered to change your corner of the world. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.